Okay, you should have answered 1 through 4. So now I'm going on to paragraph 2 in the document. This American government, what is it but a tradition, though a recent one, endeavoring to transmit itself unimpaired to posterity. You're just trying to pass on a tradition, basically, like Christmas traditions, but each instant losing some of its integrity. It says it loses some of itself over time. So I drew this awesome picture of the Capitol building breaking down a little at a time, right? Over time. It loses, over time, the government's losing some of what it was meant to be. He's saying the government over time becomes a little corrupted. It changes, and not in a good way. It is not the vitality and force of a single living man. The government's not like a person that can just keep going. For a single man can bend it to his will. It is a sort of wooden gun to the people themselves. It's just there to make you feel better. It doesn't really do anything like a wooden gun would do, but it is not the less necessary for this. It says we still need it, and here's why. We still need government, for the people must have some complicated machinery or other, and here it's din. Din is noise. Okay, they want to hear the machine going to satisfy that idea of government which they have. So even though the government starts to be corrupted, or it starts to lose some of what it was meant to do, we keep it because we need something there. We got to hear its noise, knowing it's at least doing something. Okay, we want it to keep doing something. Okay, so he goes on. Governments show thus how successfully men can be imposed upon. Governments get away with a lot. You say governments show you how much people let you get away with, even impose on themselves for their own advantage. It is excellent. We must all allow. It's pretty good how governments figure that out. Yet this government never of itself furthered any enterprise. It never did anything. But by the alacrity with which it got out of its way. Alacrity means it quickly. Okay, so he says the government never did anything good except when it got out of the way. He says that's when government does something good. It's when it just steps out of the way and lets you do your thing. It does not keep the country free. Saying the government's not what keeps you free. It does not settle the West. Remember, this is in the 1800s. When he's writing this, they're moving west all the time. Okay, like the pioneers had just made it to Utah, for example. He says it's not the government that sent the pioneers out there. It does not educate. Okay, it's not the government that educates people. Not back then. The character inherent in the American people has done all that has been accomplished. He says it's the people, the American people. It's our character. We're the ones that get things done, not the government. And it would have done somewhat more if the government had not sometimes gotten its way. It says, really, it probably would have done more if the government hadn't had so many rules. Maybe they could have accomplished more. Again, you can see this. He's not like advocating no government, anti-government totally. He's just saying I don't agree with everything the government does. So you should be able, I need to do the next paragraph, sorry. Paragraph 3, but to speak practically and as a citizen, unlike those who call themselves no government men, that's an anarchist, somebody who doesn't want government at all, I ask for not at once no government, but at least a better government. He wants it to be a better government. Let every man make known what kind of government would command his respect, and that will be one step toward obtaining. He says, if we want things to be, I just want a better government. I don't want no government. I want a better government. But if you're going to do that, you've got to let people know what you think. Let every man make known what kind of government would command his respect. You got to go out and tell them. You got to make it known somehow what you want, or it can't change. So you should be able to answer question 5. Which of these lines show that Thoreau believes that sometimes people just want the government to make some noise so that they know it is doing something? The word din, noise, didn't I say that? Paragraph 2, which statement best summarizes Thoreau's ideas in paragraph 2? Do that one. Paragraph 2 again is question 7. According to Thoreau, which is the more effective and does the most good for our country, the people or the government that represents people? Paragraph 3, which statement is true based on paragraph 3? Okay, so answer those next few questions. You should be done with 8, and you can move on to the next.